rights, promises, damages, and liabilities arising out of or in connection with the use or distribution of said video recordings, including but not limited to any claims for invasion of privacy, appropriation of likeness, or defamation. A few reminders here. First and foremost, please mute your microphone at all times and mute only when you are asked to speak by the member of the organizing team. Please turn off your video when contests begin. Only contestants giving the speech and the timer shall have the video on in order to reduce disturbance to the contestants. Photography is not permitted while the contestants are delivering their speeches. Your cooperation to restrict or observe these house rules is much appreciated. Okay. Last but not least, sit back and have fun. With that, I shall pass the control to the contest chair, DTM Eric Law. Over to you.
Thank you very much to our ever energetic Sergeant at Arms, Chloe, and welcome all of you here today to our first ever mock online contest. Yes, so I have been noted that our ever charming district director has to make a leave soon, so I think I shall pass to her first. So please help me welcome, as today we have the privilege to have our committed, accountable, respectful, ever motivated, simply enthusiastic, and highly embedded, never give up attitude is none other than our District 51 Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Kamen Lu, to give her opening speech.
Thank you, contest lead Eric, and it's a very great pleasure to be with all of you in this Saturday afternoon. Yeah, I'm leaving soon. After my speech, I need to leave and go for another appointment. Well, in terms of online contests, I know a lot of you are experiencing first time to organize online contests. So was me during March. Once MCO was announced and TI announced for going online for the whole world, I had to lead the whole team, the whole program quality team at that time, to learn about online contests, how to manage online contests and manage the last 5 division contests and also the 4 district contests for last term. And that's how Toastmasters helped me to gain another form of skill in managing online contests. It's never into my plan that I know how to manage online meeting, all right? So what I want to share with all the members in this room is take any opportunities in Toastmasters, the learning opportunities, because it may expand your skill, it may expand your knowledge, and you may use it in your near future, in your career or in your life, which you won't expect. And now a lot of people, they are very impressed that I know how to play around with Zoom, and they are very impressed at how am I conduct training online, and I can even manage online contests. So these are the skills which initially when we join as a Toastmasters, we do not foresee that we have to end up with online meetings, and now I have to talk to you through this whole, and I see a stretch of you here, but I cannot interact with you. That's the only thing. So this is a new norm, which is because of the digital transformation. So I would like to urge all of you to embrace with the digital transformation, explore our skill in digital communication in order to make ourselves at par, keep up our momentum to the changes of the world. You won't know when are you going to use it, but I'm assure you that you are in the correct platform, you are in the correct place, which you're going to be a better person, better communicator, and also better leader. So enjoy your afternoon learning what is going on with the online contest with Eric and his team. And I wish you a very enjoyable afternoon. Over to you, Eric. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There you have it from our very own respectful District 51 Director. If you're wondering where I get that acronym, which means you have not seen her video, please go to the Facebook of District 51, check out her video of that 5 acronym, 6 actually. Yeah, I'm testing you guys. Okay, it's around 6 minutes. It has been viewed for 1.5K already. Okay, thank you very much, Carmen, for that wonderful opening. And I bid you farewell if you have to leave anytime.
Bye-bye. I take a move first.
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow potential contestant or potential organizing team, okay, when we received your registration, it was overwhelming. We have 80 plus registered, and I'm proud to say that we have 72 now. Most of you attended by selecting as a role player. There are also some who want to see it as a point of view as a contestant. So I welcome all of you here. Okay, in our midst later, we have our Program Quality Director, Grace. We also have our District 51 Public Relations Manager, KK Lim, who is there. Say hi, KK. Okay, and I also know that we have a few division directors here. We have Yin Fong. Hello, Yin Fong. And we also have Melissa. Hello, Melissa.
Hi, Eric.
Okay, and of course, we have a few area directors here. Anyone that I missed out, please forgive me. We shall settle outside of Zoom, okay? Not in here, but outside of Zoom. Okay. So, yes, I would like to welcome all of you to our first online mock contest where we purposely put it live because we want all of you to witness it firsthand, okay, for this event. So, it's basically what you see is what you get. After this whole thing there is no agenda, there is no slide, there is no file sharing or whatsoever, but basically just seeing and learning, okay, because as I say, seeing is believing, right? So this is the purpose why we created this whole concept where you will see and you will get what you see. And if you have noted, we have also created this to be a very simple step-to-step thing where regardless of your literacy in using Zoom or running a contest, every single one of you here should be able to host a contest after this meeting. Okay, we won't make it complicated. We are simply simplifying as simple as we can so that every one of us, regardless of who we are or where we are able to host it. And if you were to notice some mistake were to happen throughout, trust me, it does happen. We actually plan for it. Yes, because we have a team who have been venturing into most club contests and we compile mistake that tends to happen in most contests. So we hope that you get to experience different scenario and how to handle it. Yeah, so we are all here to learn together. So as I always like to share, this is a platform for us to make mistakes, correct? It's a safe place for us to make mistakes. So feel free to make mistakes throughout this session. There will be time where we will interact. So basically you'll be seeing a contest as its own, but there will be interaction session in between. So that's where you can raise your question, your doubts, or if you have anything, feel free to raise your hand and to ask. Okay, can I see a thumbs up from all of you that we are all good to go? Yeah, thank you very much. I'm only seeing a few screens. Others are hiding behind the scenes. So yes, we are all in the contest setup. That's why you off your video. Thank you very much. So I've set the stage and now let us begin and I shall hand the control to our ever handsome Toastmaster of, no more Toast, oh, okay, Carmen is done. It will be our contest Toastmaster for the International Speech Contest, who is none other than Toastmaster Edwin. Over to you.
Thank you, Contest Chair. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the International Speech Contest for ABC Toastmasters Club. My name is Edwin Sujit, and I will be your Contest Toastmaster for the International Speech Contest. I would like to begin this session by reading out the purpose and some of the rules of the International Speech Contest. The purpose of the International Speech Contest, as defined by Toastmasters, is to provide an opportunity for Toastmasters to gain speaking experience, as well as an opportunity for other Toastmasters to learn by observing the more proficient speakers. Now, to review some of the rules that we've gone through in detail before with the contestants and the chief judge. The contestants have been informed of the location of the timing lights. Any protests will be limited to voting judges and contestants and must be lodged with the chief judge or contest chair prior to the announcement of the results. And also, as a reminder of the new contest rules, the contestants are not allowed to reference any part of the speech of the previous contestants. Here are some reminders for the audience. No one will be allowed to unmute or turn on their video when a contestant is speaking. In case you are disconnected, the Zoom master will only admit you back during the minute of silence between speeches. Refrain from using the chat function when a contestant is speaking. After the contest, the Zoom master will enable the group chat function. Then you can raise your questions. The taking of photographs and videos during the speeches is not permitted. This contest is recorded by the Zoom master for ABC members' internal use. And also kindly ensure that all electronic noise producing devices such as cell phones are switched off or turned to silent mode. All right, now moving on to the speaking order of the contestants. The speaking order of the contestants was determined prior to the contest. It was randomly selected and is as follows. Contestant number 1, Toastmaster Annie Wong. Contestant number 2, Juan Leong. Contestant number 3, Zinesh Pradeep Doshi. Now that we have confirmed the speaking order, Chief Judge, are your judges and timers ready to go?
Thank you very much, Contest Toastmaster Edwin. For the benefit of all, as we can see at the right top of the corner, the participant list, I'm supposed to have 7 judges, and I noted that one of my judges, J1, I think he got disconnected. Give me a moment as I reach him out to get connected back.
All right, so we will give the Chief Judge a minute for the judge to return.
Okay, I've noted that J1 is in back. Yes, so we are good to go. We have 7 judges in total, more than the requirement. So back to you, Contest Toastmaster Edwin.
Thank you, Contest Chair. And ladies and gentlemen, so we are ready to begin the contest. Can I please invite our first contestant, Toastmaster Annie Wong, to unmute her microphone, turn on her video camera, and do a final audio and video check by saying testing 1, 2, 3 and waving at the camera for us.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Annie Wong. We can hear and see you clearly. Could you also confirm for us that you can see both the timers on your screen?
I need people to turn off their video, otherwise I can't see the timer.
Okay, can I please request the audience to turn off their video so that the contestant can pin the timers?
Yeah, now I can see the timer already.
Okay, so thank you, Toastmaster Annie Wong. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce contestant number 1, Toastmaster Annie Wong, with her speech title, FQ, Toastmaster Annie Wong.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you love money? I bet you do. Now let me ask you this question. This is a piece of 100 US dollar, and these are 2 pieces of 100 ringgit Malaysia. Which one do you choose? 1 piece? 2 pieces? Let's see. Majority of you are intelligent person. So your answer should be yes. This is the answer. 1 piece, because you know that the value is more than 200 ringgit. But the answer for this question is Not one piece. It's 1 plus 2. We want them all. Yes. This is a simple question in a FQ test. So what is FQ? FQ stands for Financial Intelligence Quotient. It simply means that how good are we managing our money? It is very essential for everybody because it helps us to manage our relationship well. No matter what kind of relationship, whether it is husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, parents and children, we need money. So it required us to have FQ. Let me give you an example to tell you how important is FQ. There are two couples. Couple A, they have high FQ. They know how to make money work very hard for them. And couple B, they are poor in FQ. They work very hard for money. In terms of transportation, couple A drive Honda Accord. Comfortable. Couple B also Honda, but less 2 tires. We call it Honda motorbike. In terms of residential, couple A stay in high-rise condo. Couple B also stay in high-rise, but it is outskirt high-rise flat without lift. Some more is a rented unit. In terms of food and beverage, couple A celebrate their anniversary with a candlelight dinner in a luxurious Italiano restaurant. They order the seafood spaghetti and also dip their sourdough bread with the extra virgin olive and cheers with the champagne. Couple B also enjoy their candlelight dinner, but because of the house electricity was cut off, they also have Maggi mee and also a gardenia bread and a glass of warm water. How sweet are them? Ladies, which couple lifestyle do you prefer? Is it couple A or couple B? For me, definitely go for couple A. So ladies, it is very important for us. It's our duty to train our partner, whether they are our boyfriend or husband, to enhance their FQ so that we can earn a lot of money and enjoy life together. But be careful, ladies. This is a quick tips. Listen here carefully. And for men, please pretending you are not listening for the following quick tips. My uncle once told me, in this world, most of the men who are allergic to money, because when they have a lot of money in their pocket or in their bank account, their body tends to be very itchy, and the luxurious lifestyle that just now you have imagined, they can share it with another woman, and we normally call her little tree. So, ladies and gentlemen, for ladies especially, it's very important to make sure your FQ is always beyond your partner. And therefore, whatever belongs to you, it's yours. Whatever belongs to them, also yours. The next brilliant question is, how are we going to enhance our FQ? As a financial coach, I always answer this question with 3 simple steps. Very simple. First, you have to understand where are you now. What is your current financial status? How much you earn, how much you have, and how much you owe other people. Then you have to use the SMART formula in order to create the financial goal. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and also timely. A simple example for you. Me, I need 500,000 ringgit for my child to have their education fees after 18 years. As simple as that. After you have set the financial goal, you need to pick and choose the right platform, investment tools, and also the correct strategy how to achieve your financial goals. So, ladies and gentlemen, FQ is essential for everybody. Do you want to spend most of your life to work very hard for your money, or you want to make money work very hard for you so that you can spend them throughout the rest of your life? Back to you, Contest Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Annie Wong. We shall now observe a minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Thank you, everyone. And now I would like to invite our contestant number 2, Toastmaster Joanne Leong, to unmute his microphone, turn on his camera, and do a final audio and video check by saying testing 1, 2, 3 and waving at the camera.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Joanne Leong. We can see and hear you clearly. Can you also confirm for us that you can see both the timers on your screen?
Give me 1 second. Now can see.
All right, great. So Toastmaster Joanne Leong, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Wait, give me a second. Lost the timer again. Okay, yes, I'm ready.
All right. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce contestant number 2, Toastmaster Joanne Leong, with his speech title, Okay, Okay, Toastmaster Joanne Leong.
When I was a little boy, I was the naughtiest student in class. I said I'm naughty, but do you know that I have full attendance to the school? Okay, every morning, my class starts at 7:20, and I wake up every day 6 o'clock. I brush my teeth, I pack my bag, and I wait for the bus. When I'm waiting for the bus, I'm so motivated to go to the school. Why? Because I'm motivated to get full attendance. Full attendance to the basketball court. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Today I'm going to talk about two things. The first one, what is not okay, and the second one, what is okay. So the story that I shared just now is basically my life from 13 years old to 17 years old. Every day, sometimes when I come back from school to home, I throw my bag like that. And my mom will ask me, boy, how's your school today? I will say, okay. For those who doesn't know, okay means my day is great. I'm lazy to tell you about my day, but I'm doing great in school. I have nothing else to share. Yeah, so when my mom asked me this question, what she really meant is, how do you feel today? How was your day? How do you feel today? Not that she hasn't tried, she tried. She asked me, how do you feel today, Joanne? But my answer is also the same. My answer is, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourself a second to think about how often do you use okay unintentionally? Okay, 1 second is up. So, do you know that up till now, the number of okay that I use in my speech is 50 times. Of course you don't, because okay has been so commonly used and abused, and it is totally not okay. Example, how was your day? Okay. How was the food? Okay. I heard that you opened an office. Is it good? Okay. No, not good. Okay is not a good way to express. So when this happens, sometimes we tell people that we are okay. We are always okay. Maybe we don't want you to worry. Maybe we are really not okay. So please remember one thing that I'm going to say later. Please remember this. It is always okay to be not okay. But okay is not a very good word to express how you feel. We don't know how to express how we feel. We don't have enough emotions vocabulary to express what exactly do we feel. Why? Because, including myself, our school education system doesn't teach us how to express how we feel. What do we learn? We learn 1 plus 1 equal to 3, 2 plus 2 equal to 5, and we also learn the 252 page of the Malaysian history. So now, when we ask people, how do you feel? What do we normally get? The answers. I'm happy, I'm stressed, I'm sad, I'm drained, and I'm okay. No, that's not okay. What do we need is more vocabularies of emotions. Do you know that we have 100 different types of vocabularies of emotions? So now, why do we always say okay? We learn our experience, emotion experience through all those different experience. Our experience told us that acknowledging our emotions is unpleasant, it's not good. But do you know, the more you hide, suppress your emotions, the more you feed the big black shadow behind you. That sounds very terrifying. But the good news is your emotional reaction and experience can be changed. 2 steps. First, acknowledge your emotion. Know exactly how you feel without judging. Okay, let me give you an example. This big black shadow behind you, if you don't look at it, you know something is behind you, very big, very dangerous. But if you look at it, maybe it will look like this. So what you need to do is just give them a little bit pat on their head and they will listen to you. So the second step is write down how you feel. So 2 steps. First, acknowledge how you feel. Second step, write down how you feel. So ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to start journaling down every day, maybe every week, how you feel with a correct, precise emotions, and let us stop saying we are okay and start saying how we actually feel precisely, and that's okay. Thank you very much, and back to you, contestants master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joanne Leong. We shall now observe a minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Thank you, everyone. Now, I would like to invite our third contestant, Toastmaster Zinesh Pradeep Doshi, to unmute his microphone and turn on his camera and do a final audio and video check by saying testing 1, 2, 3 and waving at the camera.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Great, we can hear and see you clearly. Can you confirm for us that you can see both the timers on your screen?
Yes, I can see both timers on my screen.
Okay, thank you. And now, contestant number 3, are you ready? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please help me invite contestant number 3, Toastmaster Zinesh Pradeep Doshi, with his speech title, Making the Plan, Toastmaster Zinesh Pradeep Doshi.
A very good afternoon to not only our contest Toastmaster, but to everyone else here. Before I begin, let me just show of hands reaction in the chat. How many of you are still sitting down at home binge watching TV shows? It's okay, don't be shy. I'll be the first to admit it. Yep, I am still binge watching TV shows, even though I can go out now. Reason being, if you're giving me the opportunity to be lazy and no one can judge me for it, why not? So I've been spending all day and night binge watching TV shows. I recently finished my bucket list and I had to move on to my mother's bucket list. Let's see, what was on her list? A bunch of Indian TV dramas. Someone's testing my faith. Thankfully, there was one saving grace. She had The Flash in her bucket list. Thank God. And so I watched The Flash with my mom. We were watching an episode where the Flash had to work together with a villain in order to break into a facility, but that's not the point. The point is that one thing the criminal had said when they were making the plan. There are only 4 rules you need to remember. You make the plan, you execute.
Contest Toastmaster, I think our contestant having connection difficulty. Could we pause a while?
Yes, so timer, please pause the timing and we shall add 30 seconds to his total time and we shall wait for him to come back to continue.
All right.
It looks like he's back.
Okay, Toastmaster Zinesh, are you here?
Yes, sorry, the internet connection got bad on my part.
All right, it's okay. Just to inform you, 30 seconds have been added to your total time. You may proceed from where you left off.
Okay, thank you. There are only 4 rules you need to remember. You make the plan, you execute the plan, you expect the plan to go off the rails, you throw away the plan. Now, when I heard that last part, I started thinking, that makes sense. I completely agree behind the philosophy of those 4 rules because I've been practicing that for the longest time. You see, when I was growing up in my household, I was growing up listening to all these tall tales and grand stories about my brothers evading the police, hiding in the drains, and trying to skip school and coming home. I grew up listening to them, and when I entered secondary school, I decided, you know what? It's my time to have these grand stories too. When I entered secondary school, my mother also told me one thing. If you want to skip school, go ahead. But you come home immediately. You see, her reasoning was if I were to skip school and come home, then nothing could happen. But if I were to skip school and be outside, then something could happen. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna disobey her. She's giving me permission to skip school. Where have you ever heard that? All I have to do is come home. I was gonna go home anyway. And so we go to rule number 1, making the plan. I had to find a way to leave the school. It didn't take me long to find it, thankfully. It was the back gate at the back of the school. It was forever closed. There are no CCTV cameras watching it. And the walls were about yay high. So I just had to climb over and I'm home free, literally. So anytime I wanted to skip school, what would happen is I'd have a shirt underneath my school uniform. And when it's time to execute the plan, I'd go over, bring my bag with me, change out of my school uniform. Thankfully, I had plenty of college shirts from my brothers, hand-me-downs, so useful now. And I just skipped school, jumped over the gate, went home. This plan was executed multiple times and I never got caught. But there were a few times where I was called out, especially by the discipline teacher. Anytime that happened, all I said was, "I'm sorry, Pantan. I was feeling sick that day. I had to call my mom. She had to pick me up. We were in a hurry, so we didn't go through the office procedure. I'm sorry." And she bought it. I was lying through my teeth. She bought it. And there's a reason for that. You see, I am an Indian from a Chinese primary school. And when I was in secondary school, I had taken Chinese for a little while. And in Form 2, my teacher for Chinese was the discipline teacher. And she thought that, wow, this is the only Indian learning Chinese. He must be an angel, never breaking the rules. Oh, how naive my teacher was. But there was once where my excuse didn't work. You see, it was one of those days where they decided to randomly take the attendance after I skipped school. And so I got caught. The discipline teacher asked me, "Where were you? Did you skip school?" No, I didn't. I gave my normal excuse. And then a teacher in the background decided to go to the office to call my mom. I'm not afraid of you. My mom's on my side. You ain't got anything on me. He came back and he said, "You said you went out of the top gate, but your mother said she picked you up at the middle gate. Answer that." Well, I expected the plan to go off the rails. The plan went off the rails. It's time to throw away the plan. Yeah, I said I went out of the top gate. I didn't say she picked me up from the top gate. What happened was I went out, I saw her, I waved at her like a lunatic. She didn't see me, and she went down to middle, and I had to go to the middle gate. The teacher cut in, let me off. I got no warnings, no demerit points. I just went home scot-free. Now, the point of the story isn't to advocate skipping schools, okay? You see, the philosophy behind the 4 rules is adaptability. If you're unable to adapt to the situation as it unfolds, it doesn't matter what kind of plan you have, it will always fail. Think about it. Would you rather be someone who sticks to a plan that's failing, or be the guy that sees the plan is failing, adapts to the situation, and makes the plan successful? Think about it. People say you fail the plan, you plan to fail. I say, if you fail to adapt, you adapt to failure. And remember, guys, you make the plan, you execute the plan, you expect the plan to go off the rails, and you throw away the plan. Over to you, Contest Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zinesh Doshi. We shall now observe a moment of silence until the judges have completed their ballots. Chief Judge, please signal once the counters have collected the ballots and you have collected the timing sheets from the timer.
Noted. Okay, I've confirmed that we have collected the ballot and we're ready to go to the breakout. Zoom Master, thank you.
Zoom Master, please assist the Chief Judge to exit to the breakout room. Okay, now I shall pass to the contest chair, Toastmaster Eric.
Okay, thank you, our contest Toastmaster. Hey, thank you very much, to our contest Toastmaster Edwin. Okay, guys, this is the part where we do the narration. So all of you feel free to unmute yourself. Don't unmute yourself. I mean, you can open your video so we can have some interaction. Okay, you all can hear me good?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that reaction. Okay, so yeah, so basically what you have observed are some of the compilation that we have did for most of the contests, things that might happen, you know, mistakes that might occur, or even things that you see, hey, this is very familiar. Yes, so you got it. So basically, yeah, as I said, it's a mock contest. So, okay, let me just begin at the beginning. Okay, why we have shifted rooms and some actually got confused. Hey, how come you know, we are shifted and we don't know where we are going? Okay, so basically, if you have observed, we started late 1 minute. Okay, I acknowledge that. So by right, we opened the room at 3. We should open the room at 3. And we actually have 4 assigned people to help you rename and shift you accordingly. Okay, so the breakout room purposes is so that like the judges and the chief judge will be at the right judges and chief judge room. The contestant and the contest toastmaster will be in the contestant room, and other guests will be in the main room, which is called the guest room. Okay, so when you are in the guest room, I believe my Zoom master number 2, which is Sheh Hui, she has already shared her slide, and also, I mean, she did not share music because she noted that you all were chatting. And when the time starts at 3:15, we end the room so that all of us will come back here into the lobby. Okay?
Not 3:15, now it's 4,
It's 3:15, no, 3:15. 3:15, we all come back to this lobby. Okay? So this the purpose of having that lobby is so that we can segregate, because some judges, when they come in, they forget to rename themselves or they forget to close their video. So we will admit one by one in, and we will rename. Once renamed, we will shift to your appropriate room. Okay, so that the judges won't have chance, or I mean the contestant won't have the chance to actually, you know, to see the judges, or vice versa. Okay, so we basically rename all of you, shift you to your room, and then once time is up at 3:15, we end the room and all of us come back to this main lobby. Okay, so that was what has happened earlier. Okay, then as we move forward earlier, you will notice that like during contestant number 1, you will hear that there's a lot of ding dong sound, right? Yeah, it's basically the entry and the exit of people. So that was created to let you know that this do happen. So by right, the Zoom master or the SAA should not allow anybody in while a contestant is speaking. Okay, during that 1 minute of silence, that is where we will start admitting them in. So earlier you have seen that, yes, so that is what mostly happened. So we basically try to recreate the scenario. And if you also notice, where the chief judge has also notified that one of the judges has logged off. So what do we do? So as you know, for a cup contest, we need 5 + 1 minimum. Okay, and then as you can see at the top right, we actually have more judges here. But for the benefit of learning, actually the chief judge have to hold the contest before we proceed. Okay, and you know, in a virtual setting, we won't know whether you are behind the screen, right? At least during the physical setup, we can see, oh, my judge 1 is in the toilet. We shall hold the contest before we start. In an online setting, Yes, you might see J1, J2 is there, but you don't even know whether they are there. So it's always good. The key here is communication. Being in a virtual setup is very important to have communication, like how I'm having with you now, to always check and check and check to ensure everything is in place. So earlier we did a scenario where the chief judge has already checked and noted one judge is not there. So we wait for the judge logging back before we proceed. And if you also noted just now, the contestant, we have different setup, right? Some sit and speak, some stand and speak. Some you see half upper body, some maybe you only see the face. Yep. So there are no hard or fast rule on how you should be seen on the screen. Basically, this does not qualify you to be disqualified. Even if I were to speak right up close that you see my face, this does not qualify for disqualification. TI basically recommend that they should be able to see you as much as they can, preferably from head to toe, if not upper half of your body. Okay, so these are the best practices that are recommended by TI. And if you have noted, our third contestant had also been disconnected. So what do we do then? Yeah, so these are some of the scenarios that might happen, might possibly happen. So if a contestant were to get disconnected or have a bad internet connection, the chief judge will have to interfere and highlight to the contest Toastmaster to stop the contest until the contestant come back, and then we shall proceed. Okay, so basically I understand some of you will have your view, some of you will have your way of doing stuff, but basically today we just showcase the best practices. You might not agree with me, it's fine, but basically we are showing the best practices after discussing with the team and seeing a few cup contests, and we came out with this. Also, we also refer to the TI best practices guideline. And if you notice too, in the best practices of TI guideline, they actually only say that the timer number 2 should show the color cards, which means to show the visual background. But if you notice, most contests, timer number 1 is the one that's showing, correct? Some club contests, 2 timers show the color. Okay, so I will leave it to you. TI best practices is only timer number 2 will be the one showing the visual color. Timer number 1 is the one who will write in the timer sheet and send the sheet to the chief judge. But because in this virtual setting, what if timer number 2 get disconnected? So timer number 1 is there to back up. Okay, so of course, timer number 1 and 2 have to constant communicate so that the differences millisecond in showing the color will be minimized. That's why if you noted just now, timer number 2, 1 show green, timer number 1 will straight away show green. Okay, because that few seconds might change the fate of a contestant. Okay, and okay, the next topic that we had a very hot debate about.
Eric, we have a question here from our guest, Valentine. She asked, if the contestant cannot join back the Zoom within 30 seconds, will the contestant be disqualified?
Okay, so actually they are not they won't be qualified to be disqualified. It will depend. That's why I said so. It has to depend on the situation. Of course, we pray hard and hope that contestant can join back immediately as soon as they can. If not, then we have to decide between the chief judge and contest Toastmaster with the contestant to see whether the contestant has already given up to join back into the Zoom or how. Okay, let's say, for example, cannot connect, no choice, cannot join back. Okay, so we will take it as it is. If the contestant meet the time requirement, score should still be given and the judges will judge accordingly. But of course, if the contestant does not meet the time required, then it will be a disqualification of time, not disqualification because of bad connection. Okay, I hope that answered. Thank you very much, Chloe. And now I will go to a topic that was hotly debated earlier about the chat box. Yes, so everybody has a different view on this. Some say the chat box should be closed, some say the chat box should be on or should be limited. Okay, I will leave it to you. Basically, I believe most of us are well-behaved Toastmaster. We know that we should not chat during the contest. Okay, why the chat box was open earlier is so that the contestant, if let's say like you see contestant number 3, if he wanted to have some non-verbal communication with the audience, for example, let's say he say, maybe can anyone type in the chat box, what do you think about love? So how does your audience going to react to that? In the virtual setup, we can only see ourselves and a timer. So sometimes a contestant wants some non-verbal feedback. So a chat box is one of the avenue where the contestant can actually get feedback. So if you were to totally ban the chat box, how else can a contestant communicate? Yeah, so something to ponder. I will leave it to you. Okay, but as I said earlier, if the chat box getting too hostile, we can always close the chat box anytime. But I think sometimes it's good that we leave the chat box so that even the audience can give non-feedback, non-verbal feedback to the contestant, or even raise any question, let's say if connection is bad or whatsoever. But I say I leave it to you. If you think it's not appropriate, think might get hostile and messy, you can always block the chat box. Okay, but as you know, the SA has already pre-briefed that the chat box, by right, we should not be chatting during the contest. Okay, but this is just in case the contestant would like to have some non-verbal communication with the audience. Okay, I think I have run through it. So now, rather than me speaking,
Eric,
any
you have time
questions
for
on the
another
floor?
question?
Ken?
What if both timers' connectivity are bad and both are disconnected during contest?
Thank you very much, Raj. This is you really put me in the hot soup. Okay, so if both want to disconnect, then congratulations, your contest will have to stop lah. Because I believe, let's say the timer got disconnected, right? That's why I say it's always very important in a contest that we all communicate. So if the timer got disconnected, quickly the timer have to stop the time, reach out in your WhatsApp group, and the chief judge or the contest toastmaster will have to tell the contestant to stop until the two timer come back. So far, I've not seen this happen. So thank you very much, Raj, for that scenario. I think that would be very helpful. So yeah, I think that will be the possible solution for that situation. Come, everybody else, you can open your video, and if you have anything to share or to ask, this is the time. As I said, we want to make it.
I would like to ask a question.
Yes, please.
This is Alicia. Okay, my question is: just now you say it is not qualified to be disqualified. Then can the judges mark down then?
Okay, it's a very interesting question from our area director, Alicia. You have a new hairstyle today, I noted. Okay, so then, okay, whether they are qualified to be marked down. As I said, internet connection is something that we could not control. So I think the chief judge should brief the judges in advance that in situation as such, I personally felt, it is a personal view, that we should not mark that down.
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying disconnect. Just now the stand up, sit down, close.
Oh, okay.
Those are the things that a contestant does, where you know, as a judge, if the judge doesn't feel comfortable, that you just sitting there and not doing anything and so what do you think about that?
Okay, thank you very much, Alicia, for the question. So yes, the chief judge by right should already pre-brief the judges. So as I said, opinions varies. TI best practices is, if possible, they want to see from head to toe. Okay, but of course, if head to toe is a bit too far, right? So maybe upper of the body. So some choose to sit, some choose to stand. So I think the judges can actually utilize the column of speaking area. Okay, that's where I think if you feel like what I said, if the judges felt that the contestant is not serious enough by just sitting down and doing his or her speech. So I think, yes, perhaps you can mark them down. Okay, but do note that in TI best practices, especially for international speech contests, they would like to see as much as they can, either from head to toe, or if you really, this is too far, maybe up of your body, because the recording will be sent to the region for evaluation, especially the champion of the day. Okay, because they want to see enough facial expression, enough hand gesture. So the camera must be as such, should not be moved. Recommended by TI is 3 feet away. So I think 3 feet is a bit too far. So that's why I myself am not meeting the requirement. But that is just the suggested best practices.
I would consider this one as like the marking of the stage. If let's say we should be able to tell the contestant to at least half of the body to be seen. If it is less than half of the body to be seen, then the judges can mark down based on that, because there is a rule saying that if you are stepping out of the the marking area. So how do you apply this online? Okay. So I mean, visibility, it should be the compound that we want to, as a gift charge, to fix that, to make that as a policy, something like this.
Yeah, I think like
Eric,
what as Aisha also put in the chat box, I think this is where we can set the ground. Like, you know, in a physical context, the contest Toastmaster will brief the contestant on your speaking area. So perhaps to be consistent, the contest Toastmaster can brief the contestant on how do you define speaking area. So half body, sitting position, standing very far position. So yes, I think we can set the ground,
Eric,
but I think as long as we are visible, that should be fine.
Eric, I would like to highlight this issue regarding the judges, the the judges in the ballot sheet. It is stated very clearly physical. Under physical, it says appearance, body language, and speaking area. I personally feel that for as long as the contestants, the face can be seen within the camera box, you should not mark the contestant down, because it didn't say speaking area. So long as the face and the head does not go away from the camera vision, so that should be good enough.
Okay, thank you very much, Betty. So as I said, visibility lah. TF recommendation is 3 feet away from your camera. Okay, but we won't dwell on this too much. This is more towards judging already.
Exactly.
Today, contest is more of how to run a smooth contest.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is all going to judging. So we won't dwell on that too much. So basically, we are more on the operation side. So anybody else who want to discuss and share your view? We have so far 73 people now. And I noted that our Division W Director, Jeff Peng, is also here. Hello, Jeff.
Hi. Hi, Eric.
Okay, so anybody else want to open your camera and do some interaction? If not, we will carry on to the next session.
Hi, Eric.
Are we good to go? Yes, Yi.
I'm sorry, I'm not convenient to turn on my camera right now, but the question is regarding the connections problem. Let's just say the contestant is having a connection problem and couldn't be back within 30 seconds. What would be the maximum timing that we should be waiting for the contestant to come back? And let's just say we already communicate with the contestant and he or she is keen to continue to join, just that he or she is having the problem to join back. So what is the maximum timing that we should be waiting?
Thank you very much, Yi, for your question. Okay. As per the guideline, there is no maximum time or minimum time where we should wait or we should not wait for someone. So therefore, as I said, communication is the key. So this is where the contest Toastmaster, the chief judge, and the contestant should communicate on what next step should be taken. Okay, there are also contests I've attended where they restart the whole contest because the connection is really bad. So I think in this situation, we should do a cumulative decision with the contestant to determine whether we shall continue to wait or we shall carry on. Okay, does that answer your question, Yi?
Thank you so much, Eric. Thanks for
that. There's no rules to say how long or how short you should wait for someone. Okay, guys, so.
Can I make a suggestion? Because I think the TI's rules on online is too vague. It's very hard to implement, but I know that districts have the right to come up a guideline. I strongly encourage the district will come up with certain to narrow down the guideline so that people can just follow and that's why then no less argument, because this kind of topic we can argue and argue days and night. But district does have the right to have your own policy. So I, as a district lead on this contest, I strongly encourage that you bring this to the district discussion.
Thank you very much, Alicia, for that suggestion. That was why this is named as the best practices. Different club might have different culture, you might have different style, but rules are rules. We will impose the rule, but other than that, yes, it can only be as best practices. But noted, Alicia, we will carry up your recommendation to the district. Okay, anything else, KK? I see you're on.
I just want to top up because like we don't have any clear rules at how long should we wait. So for our last district contest, we have rehearsal, right? We have meet up with all the contestants earlier before the contest. So I was one of the contest Toastmasters. I already fixed the distance. I asked them to mark them down during the rehearsal. This will be the distance. Some contestants required, can I have nearer to the screen because my speech is supposed to be a big head screen. So every contestant were in the meeting as well. So everybody is okay with that. And then actually I print screen all the distance that they want to be and share to the chief judge so that the chief judge can inform the judges. This is that possibly the distance that the contestant will be from their camera. So this has been agreed. So we make it all clear before the contest so that the judge can mark it accordingly, correctly. And this is like, we inform everything. So the communication is, we try to make sure it's as clear as possible so that there's no miscommunication. So I just want to share this. And also,
yes, thank you, KK.
For example, the time, sometimes different clubs might think we should wait for 1 minute. Some other clubs might say we shall wait for at least 5 minutes. Because the contestant has been struggling so much. So it depends on the club still. Whatever decision, I would say it still depends on the OC. You just communicate earlier and discuss earlier during the rehearsal. Everybody agree with that. The time given, let's say, for example, everybody agree that we shall wait for at least 1 minute. So it is stated clearly that in that club contest, that will be only 1 minute to wait for the disconnection to back to normal.
So from this conclusion, we can agree that communication in the virtual setting, as I said, even at the back end with my role player, you need to constant communicate. Once all are set, everybody is on agreeable on the same term, I think then that should be fair for all. Okay, so any last question before we carry forward? Okay, because we're running out of time. So can I see a thumbs up? Is everybody all good? Everybody are still all right? Still alive? Yes, thank you very much. I'm seeing a thumbs up. Okay, so with that, I think we'll move on to the next session. Edwin, is the good picture, I think. Yeah, so now please review yourself.
Evaluation contest for ABC Toastmasters Club. My name is Edwin Sujit and I will be your evaluation contest Toastmaster. I would like to begin this session by reading out the contest purpose and rules. The purpose of this contest, as defined by Toastmasters, is to provide an opportunity for Toastmasters to gain speaking experience, as well as an opportunity for other Toastmasters to learn by observing the more proficient speakers. Now to move on to some rules. The rules have been reviewed with the chief judge and the contestants, but here are some additional rules to note. The contestants have been informed of the location of the timing lights. Any protests will be limited to voting judges and contestants and must be lodged with the chief judge or contest chair prior to the announcement of the results. Here are some friendly reminders to our audience. No one will be allowed to unmute or turn on their video when a contestant is speaking. In case you are disconnected, the Zoom master will only admit you back during the minute of silence between speeches. Please refrain from using the chat function when a contestant is speaking. And after the contest, the Zoom master will enable the group chat function. The taking of photographs and videos during the speeches is not permitted. This contest is recorded by the Zoom master for ABC members' internal use. Kindly ensure all electronic noise-producing devices, such as cell phones, are switched off or turned to silent mode. Moving on to the speaking order of the contestants. The speaking order of the contestants was determined randomly prior to the contest date. The speaking order is as follows. Contestant number 1, Toastmaster Annie Wong. Contestant number 2, Joanne Leong. Contestant number 3, Zinesh Pradeep Doshi. Chief Judge, can I confirm with you that your judges and timers are ready?
Thank you very much, Edwin. As I'm checking now at the top right of my screen, we have J1 to J7 all here. And We are good to go? Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Chief Judge. Thank you, Chief Judge. Now let us begin the evaluation contest. Can I please invite our test speaker, Toastmaster May Ng, to turn on her video camera and unmute her microphone and do a final audio and video check by saying testing 1, 2, 3 and waving at the camera.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster May Ng. Can I also confirm that you can see both the timers on your screen?
I will check. Yes, I can see 1 timer and 2 timers. Yes, I can see them.
Okay, great. Thank you, Toastmaster May Ng. And finally, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce our test speaker, Toastmaster May Ng, with her speech title, Straight Talk, Toastmaster May Ng.
Recently, I did my assessment in Toastmasters International website and scored a 6 for initiating out of the 4 characteristics. To ensure all of you know what these characteristics of an initiator are, let me share what TI says about my character. I am enthusiastic, energetic, spontaneous, and fun-loving person. I respond strongly to praises and approvals. At times, I may appear to be impulsive and strong-willed, but generally, I'm an easygoing person. Apparently, I talk more than I listen. I realize these traits are really so me. When I was younger, I loved to talk, and I talk everything and anything. I thought I have good interpersonal skills and strong communication ability. And I joined a US company 18 years ago and found out that it is not as easy as just having good communication. My role was to get awarded with job positions, interview candidates, and promote highly potential candidates to my client. And the most difficult of all is actually promoting the candidate. And this is where I learned that to be precise and concise in my delivery of message and ensure I must nail it with one hit. And this is the reason why I'm having the talk today. Straight talk is my topic. And I want to introduce to you my 3 C's. The first C is concentrate. Deliver one idea at a time. At the beginning of any sharing, maybe a presentation or a meeting, the objective is to structure your content properly so that you can hold your audience and keep them convinced of your presentation. As much as possible, avoid displaying too many ideas at one go, as this may distort your original message. Do you know what is the worst case scenario? It is to invite your audience to throw ideas so that you can latch on and hopefully you can hold the audience attention for as long as possible. To depend on audience throwing ideas is the worst position to be in. So hence, it is important to concentrate on such structuring your ideas properly so that your message is delivered accurately and straight to the point. The second C is concision, expressed in a single clear sentence. An effective communicator speaks with clarity and straight to the point sentences. And this is important so that your audience stays resolute to your message. Let me share a few scenarios. Say you're pitching for a job order and you say things like this. We are here for you and we will deliver your shipments. We would love to work with you and we will deliver everything at what you expect. But instead, you can actually say it more concisely like this. We are confident we can deliver all your shipments. Another example is, say you are chairing a team meeting and you want everyone to work very close together. And you say things like this. We need everyone to work together hand in hand because we need to have teamwork and we need to make sure everyone stay in the team and stay focused so that we can go on and on and on and on. It's too lengthy. But instead, you can say things like this. to be able to work as a team, we need to work more collaboratively. The third C is conviction. Make sure that your message has an idea that you believe in. To undercut or to take a shortcut of your message is not fair to the audience. It is irresponsible and unprofessional. And it will put a dent in your credibility and the respect that you once held. One of my favorite quotes from Rick Warren is, leadership is learned, earned, and discerned. You develop that leadership quality. So you need to work and make sure that the trust and credibility that you have, you must make sure that it is clear. It cannot be demanded. In your sentences, you may also put further emphasis with affirmative phrases, such as, my point is this, or my view is to go forward with this direction. Perhaps you can also say, I believe in doing this way. Ladies and gentlemen, to summarize my speech today, no matter whom you're speaking to or what you're speaking about, your listeners want you to be clear, so that they need you to go straight to the point, so that everyone can move forward in the right direction. That was my 15 minutes of summary of Straight Talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster May. Zoom Master, you may now move all the contestants, the timer, and the Sergeant at Arms to the breakout room for the contestants' 5-minute preparation. Please notify me once all the contestants have been moved.
Sorry, Contest Toastmaster, who do I move again apart from contestants?
Yes, the contestants, the timer, and Sergeant at Arms.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, during this 5 minutes, to pass the time, I would like to interview our test speaker, Toastmaster Mayam. So Toastmaster Mayam, can I invite you again to turn on your camera and microphone for us?
Hi, Edwin.
Hello. So thank you so much for doing this. So during your speech, we learned quite a bit about your characteristics as a communicator. So perhaps we could talk a bit more personal and get to know you more personally. So can you share something about yourself with us?
Oh, well, quite a straightforward person, a middle-aged woman with 2 grown children. You know, Toastmasters is something that I joined very lately. I was involved in Toastmaster under AmCham, American Chamber of Commerce, many, many years ago when I was actually attached to the US-based company in the search company. And then it was just a very short stint and didn't really have time because I was chasing the career stars, you know, the moon and the light is all about the career. So didn't really put a lot of emphasis on becoming a better communicator until I joined this Toastmasters in my current club and thought it's never too late to start. It's always so many things to learn and so much to learn from. So that's how I got involved in Toastmasters.
Okay, so how long have you been in Toastmasters? How long has your journey been in Toastmasters?
About a year and a half. About a year and a half. I was a paying member, but not active. Was a paying member for about 3 years, I think, but only got very active 1.5 years ago because of the location as well.
Okay, So you told in your speech that earlier itself that you were a very good communicator. So
I thought I was.
but what exactly drew you to Toastmasters? What aspect of Toastmasters drew you in?
I think it was, being proficient in English language, having good command of English language. We have a string of vocabularies. It's not enough because you're talking about contents, you're talking about structuring, you're also talking about your voice. How do you want to project it? And then you have emphasis on your body. And all these are so important. We learned about it, there's Google, there's also lots of books, and there's a lot of motivators who are conducting talks. You go for that. So everybody has their own style and everybody is telling you tips here and there. But you cannot find yourself because you never practice. You keep on listening to others. They keep pumping information to you. But you don't practice because there's no avenue for you to practice. And the only way that you can actually deliver what you actually plan to say is actual presentation, whether it's for your job or whether it's to a classroom of people, or you're actually conducting a talk for your social event. But it is there. Nobody is there to critique you because they're also just listening. There's nobody to actually put money in your pocket to tell you, hey, these are the areas that you did well, and these are the areas that you can actually further improve. Or there are new ideas, there are brand new ideas, styles that I never even thought that can be applied in a presentation. And in Toastmasters, they hold nothing back. They tell you everything. The good, the bad, the ugly, the bitter, the sweet, they tell you. And then it is up to you whether you want to take it and embrace it and grow from there. So I thought Toastmasters is really real. No one is there to insult you. They're just there to make you better and better each time.
That's very true, and I'm sure that all of us in the audience agree with you, with Toastmaster May in here. Now, in this 1.5 years of Toastmasters journey, I'm pretty sure that you have seen a lot of growth in your ability to communicate, in your ability to speak. What do you think is your greatest achievement that you have achieved in this short period of time, or in this journey that you have had?
Yeah, I think it's the structure of what I want to say instead of shooting everything out because there's so many ideas that come to your head and then you want to say it, you just want to blast it out, and thinking that that person is able to take all this, all this information. Those days we don't even care whether the person who's receiving the message, did you get everything that I said? We didn't really bother. But the improvement that I saw in the 1.5 years that I was really active in Toastmasters is structuring and making sure that that person is able to follow. There's no point you give everything all at one go and you're too fast. And I think I speak fairly fast. And I really got no time to see if that person is receiving my information. Can you catch up? I don't care. You have to catch up. It's your job to catch up. But it's not right. So this is where I felt that, hey, if I'm more precise, I'm more clear, then that person don't have to scramble and can take everything, as much as possible. And it's a win-win situation for everyone then.
Well, I'm sure that all of us have a lot to learn from you, Toastmaster Mayor. And thank you so much for sharing with us, and thank you so much for this wonderful session. But I believe our contestants are ready to go, so we will catch up another time. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayor.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to proceed with the evaluation contest. Can I please invite our first contestant, Toastmaster Annie Wong, to unmute her microphone, turn on her camera, and do a final audio and video check by saying testing 1, 2, 3, and waving at the camera.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, we can hear and see you clearly. Thank you. And can you also confirm for us that you can see the timers on your screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So finally, Toastmaster Annie Wong, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce Toastmaster Annie Wong.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mei. You have delivered a wonderful speech. Thank you again because you have given us a lot of information about your experience, careers talk, and your own experience. It involved a lot of experiences that I can feel you because it was your 18 years experience in your career. It was a well-structured speech whereby you started with your own interaction, whereby you tell the audience about the characteristic of yours, your interpersonal skill, you are good in communication, and also your job scope as a interviewer. You have a very nice English command and you deliver the speech with a very smooth flow. It was wonderfully done. In order to make your speech in another greater level, I'm giving you 3E. You give us 3C, I give you 3E. So you was given us about the concentration, consistency, conviction, and end with a very strong conclusion. I would like to give you this 3E because I observed that during the whole speech, the first E, that your eye contact, because of your spectacles, that it reflects the light outside your windows, that we couldn't really observe your big eyes. Eventually, because of your spectacle, we can also see you have this minor movement. Maybe you are not observing yourself. You keep on touching your spectacle. So maybe I would suggest you to remove away your spectacle and maybe we can see your big eyes. Next E, the second E is your energy level. I believe that you have an enthusiastic inside you and you're passionate in interpersonal skill and speaking skill. So maybe you would like to raise your energy furthermore and you can deliver a better speech with enthusiasm in your speech. The third E is to extra emphasize on your tonality. There are a lot of scenarios and examples you've given to us. And one of it, like, nail it with one hit. Nail it with one hit. Like, we don't really nail it. Maybe you want to emphasize your tonality, like, I want to nail it with one hit. So this is the 3 E's that I wish that you can accept my humble opinion. And this may elevate your speech quality. Overall, you deliver an informative content and I give you a thumbs up for this speech. You give us a brevity content. Back to you, Contest Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Annie Wong. We shall now observe a minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Thank you, everyone. Now I would like to invite contestant number 2, Toastmaster Joel Leong, to unmute his microphone, turn on his video camera, and do a final audio-video check by saying testing 1, 2, 3 and waving at the camera. Toastmaster Joel Leong.
Contest Toastmaster, Joanne is
Okay, so we will wait until Toastmaster Joel Leong reconnects. Okay, Toastmaster Joanne Leong has reconnected. So Toastmaster Joanne Leong, please turn on your video camera and unmute yourself and do a final audio video check by saying testing 1, 2, 3 and waving at the camera.
Testing 1, 2, 3, and hi.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Joanne Leong. We can hear and see you clearly. Can you also confirm for us that you can see both the timers on your screen?
Yes, I can.
All right, great. So finally, Toastmaster Joanne Leong, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, great. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me invite contestant number 2, Toastmaster Joanne Leong.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give me a very big clap reaction in your Zoom. She did very well. And what I like about your speech is you not only tell us the 3C secrets of communication, you also demonstrate to us the 3Cs. If I may I suggest you one improvement that you can do? One improvement that I think that you can improve and take your speech to the next level is when you talk about the 3Cs, slow down. So when you talk about concentrate, you talk slowly. Talk about concise and conviction, also talk slowly. And so that's all for my evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joanne Leong. We shall now observe a minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Thank you. And now I would like to invite contestant number 3, Toastmaster Zinesh Pradeep Doshi, to turn on his camera and unmute his microphone and do a final audio and video check by saying testing 1, 2, 3 and waving at the camera. Toastmaster Zinesh. I'm sorry, I think we are having some technical difficulty as well. Thank you all for your patience. We will restart again soon as the contestant number 3 rejoins. Oh, he is here. Okay, great. So contestant number 3, Toastmaster Zinesh, could you turn on your microphone and video camera and do a final audio and video test by saying testing 1, 2, 3 and waving at the camera.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
All right, we can see and hear you clearly. Can you also confirm for us that you can see both the timers on your screen?
Yes, I can see both timers on my screen.
Okay, great. And finally, Toastmaster Zinesh, are you ready?
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
All right, great. So ladies and gentlemen, help me invite Toastmaster Zinesh Pradeep Doshi.
Toastmaster May Eng, just like your speech, I'm going to be as straight and direct to the point as I can be. But forgive me because I do like hearing the sound of my own voice. Now, there were many good things about your speech, especially when it came to you had profound use of hand gestures. Constantly, I'm seeing your hand moving, and I know you're not just sitting down and just talking. Like, blah, 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 blah. You are actually using your hands, you're being active, and you're maintaining good eye contact with us. So you are making sure that everyone is looking, that they feel like you are looking straight into our own souls, which is good. You spoke with good clarity and conviction, for sure, as per your two C's over there. And you had a good use of your facial expressions as well. You were able to show the minute expressions as well when you're happy, and as well as the other emotions. So it actually is good to show, especially when it comes to online contests. Sometimes it's a bit hard to see these animations on the face specifically, but you actually showed it very nicely. So well done on that. And you had a very good takeaway message, which is to be straight to the point, be direct. And I'd say that is quite relevant, is a very relevant takeaway message, as most of us tend to be quite beating around the bush, if I have to say it. There were a few points of improvement I would like to say. First point of improvement, as you were speaking, you were speaking relatively fast. I was able to hear it, but personally, I felt like if you had added a few more pauses in between your in your whole speech itself, it would have been a bit better. Because I had also personally timed your speech as well. You had plenty of time to add more pauses, so it's no problem. Like, for example, maybe a presentation or a meeting. Or another one, do you know what is the worst case scenario? Pause. Let the audience stew on your question, and then you continue. Another thing I would like to note is you had a profound use of hand gestures, but a lot of your hand gestures, like what you can see right now, can't be. Sometimes you can see half of it, or you can't see all of it. So I would suggest in those cases you actually go as far back as you can, so that when you do your hand gestures, like when I'm raising my hand up, it can be seen. So if you're going to be making use of hand gestures a lot, this would be better. And so one personal challenge I would challenge you to work on that story a bit more, because I want to hear more about these three C's. I found them very interesting. All in all, very good use of hand gesture, good eye contact, very good takeaway message, and things to work on, pauses, as well as sitting as far back as you can so your hand gestures can be seen. I look forward to seeing your next speech. Over to you, Contest Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zinesh Doshi. We shall now observe a moment of silence until the judges have completed their ballot sheets. Chief Judge, please signal once the counters have collected the ballots and you have collected the timing sheets from the timer.
Thank you very much, Edwin. I'm here to confirm that my ballot counter has collected, and we can proceed by shifting us to the breakout room. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Judge. And now the Zoom master will shift them to the breakout room. At this time, I would like to pass control over to our contest chair to narrate the previous session.
Okay, thank you very much, Contest Toastmaster Edwin. Yeah, so let's not waste any more time in waiting the Chief Judge and the judges. Basically, what we have seen earlier, okay, is basically the evaluation contest, where we have the test speaker and also the evaluation contestant. So if you have noted, throughout the whole process, while we actually wait for the contestant to do up their 5-minute write-up, the Contest Toastmasters is actually encouraged in TI best practices to do an interview with the test speaker until all the contestant is done. And if you noted just now, there are some so-called disconnection problem. It's actually not a disconnection issue. So this is where I always emphasize in the virtual setup, it's always important for us to communicate. Okay, so I think this happens in club contests where the SAA, number 2, in the breakout room should communicate with the Zoom master in this room so that the Zoom master can notify that, okay, it's time, where the contestant will just press leave the room, not leave meeting. Because this is a hall, it's not a room. So the Zoom master could not move the contestant here. But once the SAA2 is notified, basically the contestant can just click leave room. Then we will come back to this main hall. Okay, so as you notice just now, there was some so-called disconnection. Actually, it's not disconnection, but more of communication. Okay, and you also have noticed throughout the evaluation contestant speaking, we had the test speaker to on their video. Okay, so this is to enable the contestant to have some connection, despite not hearing them, but at least they can see them while giving their evaluation speech. Okay, so I think this is what has happened earlier. And any questions so far? Or to deliberate the evaluation session? Anybody? If not, we will proceed. And okay, back to you, Edwin.
Thank you, Contest Chair. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the conclusion of the evaluation contest. Now we will proceed with the presentation of the certificate of participation for the international speech contestants. For this, I would like to invite all our audience members to turn on their camera and show their appreciation by applauding for all our contestants. So first, presenting the certificate of participation for the international speech contestants, presenting to Toastmasters Annie Wong, Toastmaster Joanne Leong, and Toastmaster Zinesh Pradeep Doshi. Can we take a group photo of our contestants with the certificate? Zoom Master, whenever you are ready.
Sorry, I don't know how to take picture with the 3 contestants.
I think you will have to pin the contestants and then take with the certificate.
I wanna. Okay, I take Annie first. Okay, Annie done. Next is Joanne. I smile. Okay, next is Zinesh. Where are you, Zinesh? Yes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you, Zoom Master. And now we shall proceed with the presentation of certificate of participation for the evaluation contestants. Zoom Master, can I have the... Thank you. All right. So the certificate of participation for the evaluation contestants goes to Toastmasters Annie Wong, Joanne Leong, and Zinesh Pradeep Doshi.
Again.
So Zoom Master will take a group photograph. Thank you.
I think we can skip because same photo.
All right. Okay. So now we shall proceed with the appreciation for the role players. Can I invite our contest chair, Toastmaster Eric?
Yes, thank you very much, Erin, for the wonderful session done. So yes, this today would not happen without all my wonderful actor and actresses, which I profusely have to thank. They are as noted in the list as you can see. So in the benefit of time, I won't mention one of each of them now. I will keep it at the end. But these are the people who have made this possible. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and my heart has no bottom. So yes, thank you very much. Back to you, Erin.
Thank you, contest chair. And ladies and gentlemen, finally, the certificate of appreciation for our test speaker, Toastmaster May. A quick photograph, I suppose. Zoom Master.
Can we end this?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, done.
All right. Thank you, Zoom Master. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will move on to the moment that we have all been waiting for. The announcement of the evaluation contest winners. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have received confirmation from the chief judge. Unfortunately, there was a time disqualification. The first and second place winners of today's contest will represent their club at Area A1 contest happening on the 12th of December 2020. So let us begin the presentation of the awards. The third place for the evaluation contest goes to, drum roll please, Toastmaster Joanne Leon. Very sorry about that. Toastmaster Zinesh Pradeep Doshi. All right. Moving on to the first place winner for the evaluation contest is, drum roll, Toastmaster Annie Wong. Congratulations to all our winners. And now moving on to the announcement of the International Speech Contest winners. So ladies and gentlemen, I have received confirmation from the Chief Judge. Good news, there were no time disqualifications. So the first and second place winner of today's contest. Very sorry about that, technical difficulty. Before we proceed to the presentation, just an announcement. The first and second place winners of today's contest will represent their club at Area A1 contest happening on the 12th of December 2020. And now, even though the surprise is ruined, please give you a big round of applause for the third place winner, who is Toastmaster Zinesh Pradeep Doshi. Moving on to our second place winner, drum roll please. Toastmaster Joanne Leon. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the first place winner for the International Speech Contest, drum roll please, Toastmaster Annie Wong. So congratulations once again to all the winners of the ABC Toastmasters Club International Speech and Evaluation Contest. An important announcement, third place people, please be on standby just in case the first and second place winners are unable to represent ABC Toastmasters on December 12, 2020. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I conclude my session and would like to pass control to the club president for the closing address.
No, before that, Edwin, is a narration first.
Oh, sorry. So now I'll pass it to the contest chair to narrate about the previous session.
Thank you very much, Edwin. So, ladies and gentlemen, is the scenario before this very familiar to you? Yes, I believe it'll be very familiar, right? Yeah, so trust me, it took a lot of effort for us to stage things that, I mean, some of the clubs do happen. I believe some of you have noticed that the award actually appear even before the contest Toastmaster has an opportunity to announce. Yeah, so that's why I said integration, teamwork, and communication is very, very essential in any speech contest. Okay, so as you noticed just now, we skip a few parts. So basically, it's more of, you know, how to spotlight these winners, how to take picture with the cert, you know, and then how to use the some of the skills that you need with the PowerPoint to have the drum rolls. Yeah, so all these are some stuff that you can actually enhance the contest. Okay, so as you notice, we did not really dwell too much into the, you know, how to spotlight, how to do breakout, how to all and this, that, right? Because basically today's intention is so that everybody, regardless of who you are, you can at least run a cup contest. Okay, if you notice, we did not dwell into the technicality of Zoom. If we were to do that, I think that would be 3 more hours. We did not dwell into the technicality of the rules and regulation. If we do that, there will be another 6 more hours. So basically today, the intention is to give you a visual on how to run a very simple and basic smooth club contest. Okay, now I think we have narrated it. Any last question from the floor before we proceed to summarize? Yes, you can unmute yourself or open your camera. I will take a few more questions.
Eric, can you
Yes.
hear me?
And Chiwai, yes, you can.
I'm Chiwai from Foreign Toastmasters. I have a questions for division evaluation contest. If the speaker, because evaluation contest is a 2 to 3 minute speech, if the speaker halfway cut off during the speech, what should the contest Toastmaster do, and how the contest will be proceed with this situation?
Okay, thank you for your question. I think earlier we did had this situation in the international speech contest. Okay, so I say it's very important to communicate. So if the contestant were to suddenly disconnected, that is when the chief judge or the contest Toastmasters has the right to stop the contest. Okay, the timer will stop the time, the contest Toastmaster will stop the contest, and the contest Toastmaster will proceed to try to reach out to the contestant via other mode of communication, for example, WhatsApp. Okay, they will communicate and see how long does the contestant need to take to come back. If the contestant can come back, we will wait, and after that we will proceed. When the contestant logging back, time won't be reset, but basically will continue on where the contestant has stopped earlier. Okay, does that answer your question, Shiwai?
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Eric.
Okay, thank you very much, Shiwai. Any other else? Any others with question? Yes, Lau. Yes, Lau, we can proceed to speak. No, not Lau. Okay. Anybody has any question about today? Feel free to ask. Anything
Eric.
about the Yes.
Eric, I wanted to just ask what happens at the back when the evaluation contestants are moved to another room? What happens to them?
Okay, so basically, during the writing of the 5-minute evaluation speech, the 3 contestants with the SA number 2 and timer number 2 will be moved out to the breakout room. They will be given 5 minutes to do their evaluation speech. So in this main hall is where the contest Toastmaster Edwin will be interviewing the test speaker. Once time is up, that's why I said communication is key. This is where the Zoom master will have a chat with the SA number 2, and SA number 2 will proceed with the contestant to just press the bottom button in the Zoom where we click leave, but leave room, not leave meeting. That is where the contestant will come in one by one. Does that answer your question, May Ong?
I actually wanted to know what the contestants were doing. Not so much in the main room, like when after they finish writing the 5 minutes and then they're supposed to what? Chill, hang out, or what?
Okay, so that is more towards the rules already. Okay, I will just briefly touch on it. So basically, the contestants are required to just sit there, relax and enjoy. No more extra note jotting. Basically, the SAA should be able to see the contestant, okay, from head to toe if you want to, or half body. The hand is not rewritten anything else. Okay, basically, they are evaluation sheet to write. You fold the sheet and like that. Okay, so as long as the SAA can see that they are not doing extra notes preparation. They can do it mentally, but no more physical writing. Okay, I'm seeing another question. Thank you, May Eng. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm seeing a question from our division director, Inform. May I confirm whose name should be in the certificate CC or contest Toastmaster? Very good question to my wonderful division director. Yes, for contestant, the name should appear, the one who signed is a contest Toastmaster. Your role player, the one who signed will be the contest chair. The winners should be signed by the club president. Does that answer your question? Division director?
Yeah,
Inform?
sorry, Eric. Eric, you mentioned the winners, the certificates for winners, first, second, and third place should be signed by the president.
Yes, correct.
So what about the contest Toastmasters?
The contest Toastmaster was signed for the certificate of participation of all the contestants.
Okay. Oh, okay, noted.
The contest chair, me, was signed for all the role players.
Oh, okay, noted. What about area level or division level contest?
Okay, that one we have to have another topic.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Okay, anything else about the operation of a contest today? As I said, if you notice, we have not dwelled too much on the rules and regulation. We have not dwelled too much on the technicality of how to break the room, how to shift people in and out, all those things. But there is another session for Zoom. So basically today is all about the basic and necessary things you need to do to host a very simple yet successful online contest. Okay, so if I think because of essence of time, I think I will move on. If you have more questions, feel free to stay the so-called detention class. I'll be more than willing to help and guide you. Okay, if not, I would like to sum up and thank all of my actors and actresses today, because like what I shared yesterday, it takes skills to run a smooth and successful contest, but it takes more skill to mock a contest with so many mistakes and error embedded in it. Trust me, all Toastmasters love perfection. When we were doing this, no, it was so tough for us to purposely drag the contest. You see, now we are ending at 5:18. Yes, if you are wondering why we are late, we purposely drag the contest to end late. If you have seen all the mistakes that happens in today's mock contest, trust me, it's purposely being done so you can relate. Rather than me saying and explaining and talking, we felt that seeing is believing. Okay, so please don't take offense of any of the mistake that happened. I know it's very annoying with the voice, with the disconnection, and so much mistake that happened. You will say this is so unprofessional of us to host a district mock online contest with all this error. But trust me, it was intentional, and trust me, it was not easy. Okay, with that, I thank all of you here, especially our guests who come all the way spending their 2 and 20 minutes time in this session. And I really sincerely thank all my role players from the bottom of my heart who came for this session to share this experience with you guys. And with that, I shall conclude. And if you have more questions, no worries. We have after tea session, they call the mama session. But now I would like to pass to our ever genuine, our ever go-hearted, and our ever graceful club president, who is also your program quality director. Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Grace Chan.
Thank you so much, Eric. I think we should give a big round of applause, virtual applause, or you want to switch on your camera and video to give them a bit of applause. Really, I will speak on behalf of, as a club president of ABC, I would like to congratulate them for a job well done, even though there's a lot of hiccup. Okay, but this is what we learned through the hiccup. And of course, as a program quality director, I'd like to thank Eric, who is the contest lead for District 51. And he has planned quite a while for this mock-up online. Because he said no point, he just used PowerPoint to share with you the flow of the contest, but he actually planned to have this mock. And I totally agreed with him. And I believe a lot of you have benefited and learned from this process. And in fact, some of you, in fact, our Didi already experienced the confusion that she has. And it was purposely done by Eric that this is a mock. All right, so that means you already experienced how is it like when there is a hiccup, the participant drop out, or the lagging and all that. So I really hope that you learn through that. But I think whatever it is, we don't get panic. It's cool and calm. And like Eric said, it's about communication. Now, since a lot of you are here, I just want to let you know that our our annual conference 2021 will be held on April 9 and 10. April 9 and 10, and it's only 2 days because as directed by TI, area, division, and district contests can only be conducted or can be held virtually online. So this time, our annual conference will be only 2 days. And the online contest will be conducted before the annual conference. We will let you know the date, very, very likely, either mid of March or third week of March. The district international speech contest and evaluation contest will be conducted. We will let you know. All right. So with that, I want to extend my appreciation and thanks to Eric and team, and especially some of the role player are from District 102. Really, I really am happy with the collaboration between 102 and 51 on this mock contest. So thank you so much, Eric and the team, and especially all the role player from District 102. So over to you, Eric.
Thank you very much, Grace, for that sum up. And yes, if you're wondering too, the role players are purposely sourced from District 102 so that the District 51 members could actually learn and benefit from this. I mean, we did have a balance, but yes, we were considering so many options, and at the end, we come into this conclusion. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe most of you have benefited from this thing, and I really hope that you have forgotten everything. No worries. The key, I believe, in this whole virtual contest is communication. Okay, I think communication is the key to ensure that we are all aligned in running a smooth contest. And like what KK has shared, I could totally agree that the rules have to be set, the stage have to be set within the club so that we have a fair stage for all to contest. Okay, because there's no one rules that fit all. We have rules to follow, we have best practices that is recommended to us. But I think the key ingredient here is communication. Communication, communication, and communication. Okay, with that, yeah, I thank all of you for dropping by. And yes, if you have further questions, feel free to stay back. I think I'll be here for another 30 more minutes. If you have to leave, I bid you a wonderful evening. Enjoy your wonderful weekend. If you have any feedback, feel free to drop in the chat box and we shall take into consideration for perhaps our next workshop or whatsoever. Okay, but if not, I thank you sincerely for your time in wanting to be a better self to learn how to organize a virtual contest.